In today's video, we will see how to register for a school if you are in Peel region. So basically Peel region covers Brampton, Caledon and Mississauga. So if you are in this area and you have a school going kid who has to be put to school, you'll get to know how to do this online. So this is their website, peelschools.org/registration. This is the link. The link will be there in the description. This page you see kindergarten, and then you also have grade 1-12 registration. So we'll go one by one. Here, registration date 2024 to 25. This is the current academic year which is already in progress. I am making this video in January 2025. So if your kid has to join the September batch, then this is the link, September onwards. If the kid has to join now, then you will be going with this link. So same with grade 1 to 12 registration, depending on which class the admission is for. I'll be showing the kindergarten, and based on that, you'll be able to see how the documentation is. It's going to be very similar, just a few difference, which I will be showing you in detail. Now that you have understood, any year you use this link, you will be able to do the registration. Once you click register for the year, what you choose, I'm selecting this. You will come to this page, and this is the create account section. You click here on this create account section. So you see here, create this account. This has to be created by parent or legal guardian, and you need an email address. If you don't have, you'll have to create one first, either with Google or Yahoo. Once that is done, this profile section is for parent, not for child. So it will be the parent, whoever is creating, first name, last name, your phone on which you can be reached, your email address for any communication, and then security. In the security, you create your password, retype password. So to create a password, it has to be 6 characters and at least 2 uppercase, lowercase, number or special character. It cannot contain spaces and more than 3 consecutive characters. So making sure you have minimum 6 character and at least 2 uppercase, lowercase, number or special character. You create the password, then retype the password. You also create security question. So you see here question 1, question 2. You have a drop down. You select from this question and then your answer accordingly. So remember your answer. That will allow you to again log in. Every time you log in, you might be asked for this security answer. So make sure you remember this. Once you click I affirm and create an account, you'll be sent a link to activate. And with that, you have your account active. On the sign in page, you will enter your email address and the password which was created. And then you can also say, remember me on this computer if you want to. Then you sign in. So you see here, this is the introduction page, and here you will enter the information as requested on each page. I will show you how this gets filled. Upon submission, you will receive an email confirmation from this address, and once school receive the online application, they will process it and will communicate with family about the status of their registration. So this is for someone who is joining new. In case student is moving between elementary, middle and high school within Peel District Board, they are not required to complete this form. If the student remains within the Peel District, then this is not required. But if the student is moving from anywhere outside, then you know what to do. And this must be submitted for each new student in your family that wishes to enroll in Peel District Board. Supporting document. So you see here proof of child's age and legal name, proof of current home address, proof of citizenship, immigration status, proof of immunization records, proof of custody, legal guardianship, and then planning for entry form and supporting documentation for student with disabilities or diagnosis requiring individual support and service. These 2 details, right? This might not be applicable in most of the cases. It might not be applicable. In case you are falling into this category, you know what this is. I'll go over it little later. And again, this part. So basically, you need to have these documents with you for sure. And depending on your circumstances, if parents are not together, then this form would be filled. And depending on child circumstances, this will also be initiated. As I said, these are the 4 documents you need to have to start with if these 2 are not applicable in your case. If you have any doubt, even for that matter, even the smallest doubt you think, don't hesitate. Just use the comment section and ask the question. It's better to have clarity with the information rather than filling something wrong. Make sure you give all the right document when you're filling this application. And as I said, in case you have any question, please feel free to comment and I surely respond. Once you click next, you come to this page. Does your student currently attend school in Peel District Board? Yes or no? If it is virtual school, summer school, day school, you will choose your response. Here I am selecting no, as this will be the first year to join. Which type of school will your student attend? So I've selected regular day school. The other option is virtual. Come down. Where is your student coming from? If you are new to Canada, you will select this. First time registering for school and never attended another school board. This is the selection I have made. Then you have few more options. Another public school, private school, or home school in Ontario, another province, territory, and attended public, private, or homeschooled, returning to Canada from another country, international fee-paying visa student. So depending on what you choose, once that selection is made, you go and click next. We are now on student information page, and here you will enter the name, that is legal name, as it appears on birth certificate. There is no ambiguity here. Look at the birth certificate and enter the name as it is. Legal first name, middle name if it is there, and then surname, last name. These are required, as you can see. Then legal suffix. In case there is legal suffix, let me click this. You see here, these are the drop down as option. Not many will have this. If you have, then you go and select from this. Then check here if student has a preferred name. Gender is mandatory, so you will select the gender from the drop down. Here there are three options: male, female, other. So you'll have to choose one of the gender. Then comes birth date as mentioned in the birth certificate. The month comes first, then the date, and then the year when the child was born. These are the required information. Then come down. So this is the enrolling grade, which is mandatory field. So let me click on this drop down. You see here it has junior K, senior K, 1 to 12. So this is class 1 to 12. So based on your selection, I'm selecting JK. Is the student 18 years of age or older? No. Then the home and residential information. So based on your address, the nearest school would get assigned, and here you enter the phone number. If it is unlisted, then you have to check this. In my case, unlisted. Then you enter the street number and name as it is shown in the example. Then if you are staying in apartment, you enter the number and the city. I stay in Mississauga, so city selection is Mississauga. Then you enter the province. By default it's Ontario, and the postal code. You see here, you have to write this way, giving a space. Once that is done, this is the school locator, and depending on the address what you have given, when you click here on find zone school, you will have to validate the address, and once you choose that, you will be shown the map of where the school is. School's address will get shown to you, and then it will show like this: address was verified. In our case, mailing address and physical address both are same, which will be case in most of the cases. So I chose response as no, and then click next. On this page, has the student ever attended school before? I have chosen response as no. We'll have to choose the right response here. If the child has studied, then the answer would be yes. Then comes the citizenship information. Here I have shown citizenship of birth as Canada. The province of birth is Ontario, and then immigration status I have shown as Canadian citizen. In case your child is born in different country, let me show example as India. So once you make that selection, you see the response is little different. Student first arrival date in Canada, that date will be entered, month, day and year, and then arrival date in Ontario, month, date and year. If both are same, then the same date gets entered. If you have moved from another province to Ontario, then the date would be different. And then, of course, the immigration status you will choose from this list of drop down. So all this drop down. Here in our case, I have kept it as Canada. So that's how you see all the responses here. In the home language survey, this is a required field. You see here, this is required and this is required. The second and third language, it's not mandatory, it's optional. So here first language, enter the first language what the child speaks at home, and was English the first language learned at home. So here you see our response is no. Even though at home, like it's a mix of English and Hindi, what we speak with the child. And in most cases, that might be the case with you also. So I have chosen no because it is not primarily just English, just to make it clear to you. So once you make this selection, voluntary First Nation, Metis and Inuit self-identification, this is not applicable to us. So I will leave as it is. If it is in your case, you can make the selection from these three options and then you click next. Is your family or student's first language English? Here the response what I have chosen is no. If it is yes, from the drop down you make that selection and then comes the status. If you are a citizen or a permanent resident, you will make this selection. If not, you will have to select this option, and once this is done, click next to continue to next page. Here on this section, parents legal guardian information. Now depending on what your situation is, you will have to fill this part. Student live with. So from this drop down, you have both parents, mother only, father only, guardian, self, other foster parent, shared, joint parent. So depending on what the option is, you will have to make the selection in your case. So I'm selecting both parents here, has custody of student. So again, from the drop down, all these options are shown. So here our selection is both parents, then parent, legal guardian, name, relationship, and speaks English, yes or not. So make that selection. Has custody, the response here is shown as yes. Then can pick up student, yes. Again, you'll have to select your option. Receives mail from student, yes. Lives at the address, what is shown, yes. And then parent, legal guardians, contact information. In case home phone number is not there, this is not a required field, you can see here. Then enter the mobile phone number. For accept SMS, I have kept it as yes. Work phone number, I have kept it blank. Extension blank. Available at work, here the response I have chosen yes. Employer, this is not a mandatory field, so I have kept it blank. And then email address. Similarly, entering parent, legal guardian to detail, first name, last name, relationship to the student, speak English, has custody, can pick up student, and then receive mail for student. So you will have to select your option here. Then come down, enter the address, street name, number, apartment, city, province, postal code as it was shown earlier, and then parent, legal guardian choose contact information. Home phone number, I have kept it blank. Then phone number has been entered. Then come down, I've kept work phone as blank, extension as blank, available at work, yes. Employee detail, kept it blank. Then email address, and if parent is deceased, then you'll have to make selection out of these two. Let's click next. Then comes emergency contacts. This is an important one. You'll have to inform the individual that you're listing them here, and they may be required to pick up your child in case the school is not able to contact you, and they should have a valid identification to show. So once you have made sure that this information is there, you can go and fill in this information. In case you are new to Canada and you don't know many people, you can have someone who can initially be the emergency contact, who is not in your building, who is not staying close by, but at a distance where they can come and help you for time being. And this emergency contact detail, you can always go and change coming to this dashboard. Once you come here, you will be able to edit the detail in future. So don't worry about the emergency contact detail. Go ahead and fill the information, first name, last name, relationship to the student, whether they speak English or not. So you see here, has custody, our response is no. Can pick up student, we have said yes. Receives mail from student, no. And then lives at the address, no. Then since we have chosen no, we have updated the address. City, we have shown Mississauga. Province, their postal address, and in the emergency contact form, given the mobile phone number, accepts SMS, here we have said yes. And then we have kept home phone number and work phone number as blank. And when you're entering the phone, make sure you enter in this format. Okay, this hyphen will also have to be put. That's how the phone number will get accepted. You'll get to see when you're filling in the detail. Let's go down. Then in case you want to add any additional emergency contact, you can say yes and fill in the detail again for the second person. If not, choose no and then click next. This is the medical information section, and you see here student health factor. Only if there is any health factor, you will use this drop down. So it's a long list. You can go through. If there are any health factor, you will make those note. In case it is not listed, you have others. You see here, and in case there are more than one health factor, then you can add by clicking here. Then this is the immunization detail, and you see here when you register your child for school, you need to report their vaccinations. This include vaccines given as infant or in any other province or country. Doctors do not report vaccination. So here you will enter health reference number, which is the health card detail. I have made a very detailed video on how to fill the immunization record, the confusions around filling the immunization records, everything in detail I have covered. That's going to give you complete information. So do check out that video. So once the health reference number is entered, you click next. This is the consent for electronic communication. So here all my responses are yes, these are required. Once that is done, click next. We are now in supporting document section. Now these documents, digital copies will be uploaded and this will be used for verification purpose only. Later on, originals will be required and it must be presented to school to complete the registration process. So for the proof of age, I am uploading birth certificate. I have kept a folder where all the documents I have pre-arranged. Initially, I had showed that at start of video. Upload. Now these are the format in which you can do an upload. Choose file. Immunization I had already updated earlier. Birth certificate I am uploading now. Birth certificate has been uploaded. For the proof of address, these are the documents which can be given. In my case, I am giving internet based. So I make that selection, upload, and you can see that here. Come down, proof of immigration status. In my case, again, I am uploading baby's Canadian birth certificate. Upload. In case you have any question, use the comment section and I will respond to that. In my case, proof of custody, I am not doing an upload as this is not applicable in our case. So is planning for entry form. This is not required in our case. If it is required, then you will have to fill this and load it here. Kindergarten communication questionnaire. This form, after clicking, I tried to fill online. The radio buttons were not working. So I took a printout and I filled the form and I have uploaded the form. Every document has been filled. Check, recheck, cross check, then go to next. We are now in electronic signature section. Here I agree, then enter the electronic signature. You just type name, any one parent's name, whoever is filling, that gets entered, and enter today's date and then click next. You can see the summary page now where everything as status shows green. That means everything has been filled correctly, and then you go ahead and do the submission.